Yeah, congratulations on the US. I think they did a good job tonight, and took the points and took the trophy, and yeah, it was their night. I think from our perspective, really proud of the effort from the players as always. But we were 3 minutes away from holding out and changing our game plan, and man, we just couldn't hold out till the 60th. It was really, that's what's stuck in my throat at the minute. We had a plan right through to bring on our flair players at a certain point in the game. Sinclair only had a 30 minutes in her with that calf, and bringing Schmidt, Matheson, Sink on at the same time. We'd hoped that was going to be the game-changing moment, the thing Canada hadn't tried before against the US. But 3 minutes, that's as far as it was, and we wilted it and broke, which was a shame.
We'll open it to questioning. We'll go with Gavin Day.
Gavin Day, Yahoo. John, considering how noticeably Christine was limping after the last game, I mean, it looked like she wasn't going to get any time, but how much went into getting even 30 minutes from her?
Look, she's a machine. There's a slogan, all for the anthem, in the team, and she just epitomises that. She took an injection. She knew the risks tonight, and it was always the same. Coach put us in. And we always knew if it was going to extra time, we were probably going to play with 10 players. But the goal was to get to half-time at 0-0 or 1-0 up on the transition. We were going to defend for our lives, catch them on the break, and we nearly did. And then we were going to bring the flair players on and bring a different approach. And again, it's just tough to swallow that we were that close to bringing these key ones in. It's a shame. But, you can stay that close to the US without, McLeod and Sinclair, Matheson and Schmidt on the pitch. I think we did all right. I think they only had 7 shots tonight, and that's a record for Canada. Usually they're up around the 15s, 16s, so I'm proud of Buchanan particularly. What a performance.
We'll go with Neil.
John, Neil Davidson from the Canadian Press. Two-part question. Could Sophie Schmidt and Dinah Matheson, could they have started? Were they healthy enough to start?
Yeah, they were healthy enough, but they'd played those 90 against Costa Rica, and it was a bit more enduring than what the US had against Trinidad. So we were always aware that when you play the US, the first 45 minutes is a high tempo, high intensity, and what we've learned in the past is we've been able to stay in the game. Winnipeg, we were 1-0 up till the 65th minute. In our recent friendly match behind closed doors, we were 1-0 up till the 65th. In Toronto, we were 0-0 till the 70th. But what we've always done is burnt our key players out so that we had nothing left in the last 30. So this time it was just about trying something different, dare to lose to win, and we lost.
And the disappointment on your players' face at the end of the game, does that speak volumes about where this team is now?
Absolutely, and look, I think the disappointment for the girls on the bench, because there's a couple of girls could have came in tonight as well, like young Deanne Rose. We would love to have had her on the pitch, but just as, again, being burnt out as a 16-year-old through the tournament, I think she could have made a bit of a difference. And a couple of the other younger players, Becky and Fleming, at some point in their careers, they'll be ready for those big games against the US. But we've just taken the world champions very close tonight. Again, I think Canada have got some of the keys to some of the formula playing against them. And if that's how close we are, I think if we play them in a podium match, Sinclair's fit and McLeod's fit, I think it could go even closer.
James Sherman, Sportsnet. John, you mentioned Buchanan there. Can you talk about the Zadorski-Buchanan partnership? It seems to be evolving and getting better and better every game.
Yeah, and that's the future. It's a 23-year-old and a 21-year-old. I mean, these girls are doing really well together. We said after the World Cup we wanted to add that little bit more athleticism on the left side, and I think Shalina's done well this tournament. The two of them, held the best forward line in the world for long periods. To be honest, I don't think the US troubled us massively. Like, the crowd get excited when they get near your goal, and it makes it sound worse than it is, but usually they're peppering down on your goal and causing all sorts of problems. But I thought the defensive block was decent. I just wish we could have got to that moment. That's going to haunt us a bit.
Well, Charles here on the left.
Great tournament run for your team, Coach. Could you talk a bit about what you saw from the U.S.? We've seen the evolution of that team. did they do things differently in this game in a way that caused you different problems than the US of old?
No, not really. I think they're trying to get rotation in and around their midfield, and they're getting players in front of your back four, and if you can take care of them. Our forwards ran out of gas tonight, and once we got a little bit slow, we couldn't get tight enough to Haran and O'Brien, and they just started to get a little bit of tempo. But I think, we will learn from that. I think the US, they've definitely under Jill have changed their style for sure. It used to be very direct, and they work off one back. They use another strengths, but I don't know. They were doable. We absolutely knew they were doable tonight, and we missed a great chance on home soil. Kills us.
With Harjeet.
Harjeet Johal, the Equalizer Soccer. John, how do you think Steph LeVay played? She had a big game against the top team, and will Erin be fit to play at the Algarve Cup?
No, I don't think Erin will be fit. I mean, we pushed Erin back for this tournament. She was on a 3-month return to play plan, and we expedited that. We managed that carefully, and pretty much she ticked the box when she got us to Rio. And Steph, we'd hoped Erin could have stepped up again tonight, because she is such a rock back there. I mean, McLeod is, in my opinion, the best goalkeeper in the world. Like, there's no one comes for crosses like her. And I think, you lose your talisman striker and you lose your rock at the back. You imagine McLeod, Buchanan, Sinclair, Scott through that midfield central spine. It might have been a different game, but it wasn't. And that's shown you a little bit around our depth as well. We've got to work hard. But to be fair to Steph, she came in short notice and did her best, and I can't complain.
With Jose in front.
Coach Jesus Ortiz from the Houston Chronicle. You seem pretty happy, pretty pleased with your performance. But what does that say?
Did you see my face?
What does that say about the U.S. that you're so positive about what you guys did, but you still were pretty
I'm not positive about what we did. No.
How far ahead is the U.S. than the rest of the world right now?
Well, considering they put about 20 million into the programme and they've got 4 times the talent pool of every other country, I mean, they're ahead. But are they really ahead when you look on the pitch? Yeah. I mean, that's a reality you've got to deal with. But I think, on paper for paper, pound for pound, who was the better team tonight? If you went pound for pound, I don't know.
We'll go to Jorge in the back.
Coach, at the end of the game, when they were giving out the medals, it seemed as if you threw your medal to the crowd. Was that indeed what happened? And if so, why did you do it?
Look, I don't play for this game for medals. It's nice to be able to give a medal like that to someone in the crowd that maybe you inspire them to, do something good in their lives as well. So I don't play this for medals, and not silver ones anyway.
Any more questions?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll go to the back, and that's the final question.
John, this is like a different question. Copa America will be in the United States this summer. What, for the first time? What's your reaction to that?
Copa America? Oh man, I only look at women's football and Newcastle United. There's only 2 things in my life. So anything else is just, it's not even in the radar. I'm sorry, brother, I can't answer that. I don't even know.
In a few days, the election for president will be held. What you are waiting for? What kind of reform in women's soccer you are waiting for from the new president?
Again, the only focus is I just hope Newcastle United don't get relegated and that Canada make it, onto the podium at the Olympics. Everything else is just, it just goes on around us. I only know 2 things in my world with my family and my girls, man. So I can't answer that either, because it just doesn't interest us.